Hello everyone, welcome back to plot 12. Firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the people that have liked my recent videos and subscribed actually. Really chuffed that a couple of days ago I hit the over 100 mark, which is a big thing for me, and I really appreciate everyone that's watching, and I hope you are enjoying the videos. So thank you for that. Onwards and upwards, I'm going to keep going and keep making some more videos every week. I'm actually on home standby today, so come to the plot. Do you know, I get 2 hours to go to report for a duty. If they do call me, I get 2 hours to report for a duty anyway, so it takes me an hour to get there to Heathrow from where I am in Hampshire, so it'll be all good. So I'm going to make productive use of my time, and I'm on the plot doing some jobs, and fingers crossed they won't call me. They haven't called me so far, and I've been on standby for nearly 4 hours now, so that's good. All positive news. So I'm getting a bit blinded by the sun. It's actually a really lovely day today. It was threatening rain a bit earlier on, but it's sort of passed over, so let's just hope it just stays that way so I can get on with some jobs. Today I am going to be getting round to, I've actually top dressed all the beds that I was preparing the other day, and the no-dig bed, that the newly created no-dig bed that I created. Top dressed all that. Sorry if you can hear that aeroplane just at the correct moment, isn't it? Flies overhead. So yeah, I've top dressed all those, so I'll show you those, and then I'm going to be planting my garlic, shallots and onion sets today. So I thought it's about time I got those in. So let's go and have a look and to see where we're going to put them. Okay, firstly let me show you what I'm going to plant. So I'm going to pick these up from Wilkinson's. I just find Wilkinson's just amazing for everything gardening and reasonable prices. So I've got some Japanese onion sets here, 50 of those. I don't think I'm going to need 50, but there we go. And some shallots. And these were actually all 3 for 2, so I actually bought some tulip bulbs at the same time, which were gorgeous. So I'll show you them later on. And my garlic is here. This is from my garlic from my last harvest. So they say you should plant the biggest cloves first. So these look like some good old bulbs that I've harvested earlier on this year. So these are what's going to be going in. So I'm going to separate these out and put those in. Let's go and have a look where they're going to go. So as if by magic, we can see the elves have been in and top dressed the beds. No, they haven't really, it was me. So yeah, this is the no-dig bed I created the other day. It had my rough homemade compost on the top, and I've just top dressed with some gorgeous compost in there. So is there anything more satisfying to gardeners than top dressed beds? They look beautiful, don't they? Anyway, I've put these hoops, and I'll show you how I've done these. These are going to be put the insect netting on. Because I'm going to be planting these alliums, I had a bit of a problem with Allium Leaf minor in my onions this year, so I'm going to try everything I can to prevent that. So I'll put these hoops in ready. I'll show you how I've done that, and I'm going to put insect netting over the top. So this is, I think this is going to be some onions here, the white onions, and then the smaller beds, I've done the same with this one, top dressed it, got the hoops ready. I think this is going to be some garlic in here, and this one is going to be the shallots, I think. Again, top dressed, hoops ready. Just let's have a look while we're over here. These are what, let me see if I can go around this side, you'll see it a bit better. These are the onions that I sowed directly. These are also Japanese onions, shensu, but they're coming up nicely, and their aim is to overwinter them. They'll get thinned out in spring, so I've not tried that before, so that's another good thing to try. I also top dressed this bed, and I took out the obelisk, so ready for whatever I'm going to pop in here. So let's get cracking. Okay, so I have separated them all out from these bulbs to these. So see, they're nice big cloves, aren't they? They say to use the biggest cloves to get the better plants, obviously, for the harvest. But this is hardneck variety. It's Casablanca that I grew last year. So obviously this is from my saved bulbs. Right, let's go and plant them. So there we go. I prepared this bed. They're just going to do the smaller bed for the garlic, because that'd be plenty for me. And I'll just, you don't have to use the dibber, but I used a dibber just so I could mark out where I'm actually going to put them. And they're approximately 15 centimetres apart, and they just need to go a few centimetres deep. Let's get cracking with it. So there we go, we're going to get these Casablanca in now. So I'm just literally finding the holes what I've predetermined, and they also go with the base plate here. See the base plate? That's the bottom where the roots are going to come from, pointy end to the top. If I don't drop it, there you go, pointy end to the top. So it's just a few centimetres below, and I'm just going to, before covering them up, I'm going to put them all in so I know each hole or each station has got actual clove in it. So let's crack on with that. So as you can see now, the little white bits there, all these stations are planted up. There's 24 in here, say 15 centimetres apart. You want to plant them about 3 to 5 centimetres deep. Just push them in. You don't want to be too deep, but these do need to be covered. So literally, just going to cover these over now. Okay, so that's those planted. So I'm going to get on with the onions and the shallots now, and they're going to be planted slightly differently. So I'll show you the onions next, and then what I'm going to do is afterwards I'm going to water all the beds in. Not too much, because we're going to be having a lot of rain, but they just need just to settle us all around the bulbs or the cloves. And then I'm going to show you how to attach these nets on the top. Okay, onion time. So as you can see, I've just pre-prepared these again with the dibber, just so I know where the stations are. And so I know actually, and it worked out there was 50 here. So I don't know if there's going to be 50. There should be 50 in the packet. It says there's 50 in the packet, so we'll see. But if not, there's no worries. Well, there was actually 51 in the bag, so that was lucky, wasn't it? There's a mixture of these sort of larger ones and these little ones. So what I'm going to do is with the netting going over it, I'm going to try and plant the larger sets in the centre, so they've got more room to sort of grow. I think they're going to go a bit taller with their foliage when they do actually come up than the smaller ones, which I'll put on the outside, so it's less chance of just sitting on the netting. So let's do that now. Okay, so this is how I do it. So literally, after we've made these holes, we don't need these holes this big. However, I've just covered that over a little bit so you just know where they are. So these just need to go with just the tips showing out. Just push them in. Next one, cover it over, push it down, just so the tips showing. And I'm going to do the rest of this now and then come back to you. So as you can see, they're all done now. Can you just see the tips? There you go. And you just leave the tips and then just firm around them. So they're all done. So they're going to need a water, and I'll label them up, cover them. But the good thing about covering them from the Allium Leaf miner is also it protects them from the birds, because onions and shallots, when you leave the little tip out, they like to come out and pull them all out, which is not very helpful. So that's another win for the nets. Okay guys, so this is the shallots, the garlic here, onions here. Basically just exactly the same, so I didn't film it. Same as the onions. You can probably see the tips sticking out of the ground a little bit. I spaced them quite far apart because shallots do like to, they do spread rather than onions to sort of stay in one place, but the shallots do spread and they split. So I've given them plenty of space. There's 15 in here. So I've watered them all in just to settle the soil. As I say, we are due for rain anyway, so that's fine. But I wanted to settle them in, and just say as well, I actually did, before I top dressed these with some nice compost, I put some poultry manure pellets in the bed, and I put some bloodfish and bone as well, just to give some nutrition there for them. Yeah, and then top dressed on top of that. Okay, nets next. So while we're over here, I thought I'd just show you the solution that I came up with, the purple sprouting broccoli. It was outgrowing the Brassica cage that I had it in. It was pushing the nets up. I mean, I could have extended the cage up, but I thought the plants were quite, they're quite established and they could sort of fend for themselves and sort of protect themselves a little bit from the pigeons. It's not as susceptible to attack really. So I'll show you what I've done, and let's see what you think, and pop in the comments below. Okay, so this is my purple sprouting here. They've done absolutely amazingly well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 12 plants there. I've took the net off completely, as you can see, and obviously we usually have something like this on the hoops and the bamboo. I've took all the structure away so the pigeons can't sit on the top and eat the tops of the plants. They can't really land on them because they're too floppy, and they can't really do much damage at the bottom. So these have been off for a few days now, and I can't see any pigeon damage, which is a massive thumbs up. But I did, they were all growing a bit wonky because they've been, see this, they're all a bit deformed because they were deformed by the net. But since a few days ago, I've staked them up, so they're going to start growing straight, and they've straightened up a lot already. And the reason I decided to do this was I saw on another YouTube channel, which you probably watch yourself. It's Malcolm Kingswell, and his allotment channel is called Allotments for Fun and Food. That's it. It's Malcolm Kingswell, and I noticed that he had his sprouts all uncovered. I know some people have more problems with pigeons than others, but my thinking was they're quite strong now to sort of withstand the attack, and I've staked them up. So yeah, thank you Malcolm for giving me that idea. Fantastic. So I've been wanting to sow some green manure, some cover crops for this winter. I did buy some seed actually, some I think it was ryegrass and phacelia. It's still there because basically I've had nowhere to put it because I've been filling the beds with other stuff and overwintering vegetables, winter veg and things like that. So, but I did have a patch of ground. I took some turnips up, and I think you probably saw in a previous video that they were due to come up. So they have come up now. Let me show you. And what I've done, even though I'm not a massive fan of broad beans, I did have some broad beans left over from when I sowed them in the raised bed over the other side, and they're a dwarf broad bean. And I'm just going to use them as a nitrogen fixer really. So they're not going to go to maturity and make the beans, but it's just going to give that cover crop for the soil here and to fix some nitrogen soil, because obviously I'll just leave the roots in. I'll show you where I've put it now. There you go, so it's next to the leeks here. Remember, this had all the parsnip and Sweden, and I redid this bed. This had all turnips that I just sowed because it was just a spare patch of ground, and I had a good crop of turnips out there. And then what I did was I just put some stations of the leftover dwarf broad beans that were given to me. So we'll see what happens with these, and this might be a good cover crop for this. So I'll keep you posted on the progress. So I did tell you I was going to show you what I did with these hoops. So these are just the plumbing pipe that a lot of allotment holders do use. These were just on the plot or just been given to me by other plot neighbours, whatever. So it's all good recycling and stuff. And then all I've I've done is, you can see there, it's just like an old bit of metal rod that's just again recycled, or you could use canes, just pushed into the ground, and then I just drive that in the ground a bit further. It's quite secure. Because this is only a shortish bed, I'm not actually going to put any structure across the top, and then just see how we'll get on with that, and also the sort of the raised sides just support this a lot more. So we've got the netting there. I'm going to whack that on now. Let's do it. So that was a bit faffy with the wind. Wasn't ideal today. It's quite floaty, this netting. Anyway, I cut this to roughly to size. Obviously I've overlapped to give me some play on each side. It was a bit faffy, but it'd be helpful if there was like 2 people of you really. But I'm quite happy with this. This is going to do the job. And what I've done, as you can see, I've tucked it round the outside of the actual raised bed, and use these clamps right the way around, just to keep the netting in place, which is fantastic. That's it, job done. So that's one done. So I'm basically just going to do the same for this bed, and we're also going to do the same for the bed of seedling onions, as well as the shallots here and the garlic here. So yeah, that's going to be done too. Quite pleased with that. And do you know what this netting is good for as well? It's for keeping the weed seeds out of the bed, because it's fine mesh netting over the winter. And I got that tip from Danny at the Grapevine Garden, my buddy. So if I'm sure you actually do watch Danny already, and you follow him on YouTube. But if you don't, please go and check out his channel. It's the Grapevine Garden. So thank you, Danny. The tip has been well noted. Enviromesh, veggie mesh, whatever you want to call it. Fantastic for keeping the weed seeds out. Well, I'm going to carry on with some more jobs now before going home. But hope you enjoyed today's vlog. And I was going to say, if you want to see anything in particular on the plot, or me doing anything, or anything in my home garden, please drop them in the comments below. Be interested to see what you guys actually want to see. But apart from that, I just show you what I do it my way. Everyone does it their own little way, don't they? But this is the way I do it, so feel free to watch along. Hope you're enjoying them. Please subscribe and tell your friends if you do enjoy the vlogs, and I'll see you soon. I think probably might do another video, quickie video. I don't know if you've seen the other video that I did. It's called the quickie, Flying Gardener quickie, and it's about potting on brassica seedlings. So I'm going to do probably a few more of these, like the less than 5-minute videos. So I might do something on that this week or next week. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.